Hi everyone, my name's Jodie, and the reason I'm doing a video is because I want to create a page called Living with Anxiety, and basically in this video, or in this page, I want to do videos that are going to help people learn how to cope with their anxiety, because I suffer with it myself, and through my experience I don't think there's enough out there that's really helping anyone. You've got your helpful pages on such as the NHS, and you can talk to your doctor, and you can talk to kind of support groups that are on Facebook, but there's nothing really that is explaining exactly what it is. There's still quite a bit of a stigma around it. No one really gets anxiety. There's still this horrible feeling of feeling alone and no one understands you, and it's taken me a long time to realise that I have an illness which is not a bad thing. It's not something to frown upon, it's not weakness, it's just part of me. And learning to cope with that is the main way of getting around everything that it throws at you. So I want to create a page that can be passed on to people who have lived with anxiety for years and don't know how to cope with it. People who have just started to realise they've got anxious feelings and don't quite know what's going on. It'd be great if that got passed on to them. There's also for people who live with people with anxiety, that how they struggle. They don't know how to say or do sometimes what's the right thing to say or do to someone who has anxiety, because it's not written down, it's not in a manual. It's not explained. You know, there's a lot of illnesses out there that have been well explained, but mental health is definitely one that hasn't been tackled very well, and it's only kind of been recognised in the last 30, 40 years as something where you're not mentally insane, you're just living with a condition like someone in a wheelchair is. So on this page I'm going to start doing some videos that are explaining what anxiety is, symptoms of it, and I'm going to also do videos on tips how to cope with it. I would like to do breathing exercise videos, because it's very important with people with anxiety to breathe, as we all know. But there's different techniques behind it. You get the typical breathe in and out for 10 seconds, but there is loads more ways of breathing you wouldn't even believe. And also, I'm an artist, so I'd like to show some of my artwork. I base a lot of my stuff around my anxiety and how I feel. So I would like to show people like what I do, which would be great. Maybe it might help someone or they might like it. I'm also going to be sharing my experiences. I've only come out to people with the fact that I've had anxiety and how bad I actually suffer with it in the last year. I haven't really told anyone how I deal with it and how I haven't dealt with it. And so now I'm starting to come to terms with what it is and accepting me for who I am. I want other people to understand that they don't have to hide what they are or who they are. Because the worst part of anxiety is feeling alone or scared that people are going to have a problem with who you are. And I think it's really important to pass whatever information I have on. I'm also going to give useful contacts, things like Samaritans, other firms and charities that I know that give useful advice. Also some other people that are YouTubers that I find have helped me a lot with what I do, and how I control my anxiety. And I've only just kind of come up with this idea to share this information. It may not be that exciting or it may not work out, but I just thought, well, do you know, I wish back then that I could go on YouTube and find someone, or go on Facebook and find someone who can actually say what I'm feeling and go, wow, like I'm not on my own, like I'm not the only person living with this, you know, giving me advice on how to cope with things, because there's only so much a doctor can do medically without actually kind of getting down to the nitty gritty and spending a lot of time with you, showing you exactly what you need to do. And sometimes medication ain't always the answer. Sometimes it is, but I'll be explaining medication as well. That's another aspect of it. Please like and share my page, especially to people that you think this will help. I'll be trying to upload videos as much as I possibly can. Can't guarantee it'll be all the time. And I'll also be using this as a kind of blog, because I'm not going to be perfect every day. I'm not going to feel great. And I want people to also see I'm going to express that side of me when I am feeling really down, because I think it's good for people to see that they're not alone. So I'm kind of opening myself up a lot here, but I just want what negativity and what positivity this condition brings to me to be shared with people, so that maybe people with anxiety can cope better, people who live with people with anxiety can cope with the situation better, and people who have no clue what goes on with anxiety, well, tune in. I think you should really have a look, because you might actually get an idea behind it. It's quite an interesting subject. Also, I won't just be looking into anxiety, I'll be looking into depression, other conditions, and kind of seeing what kind of goes with that, because anxiety is linked into so much. And even if you don't suffer with anxiety, which I suffer with, GAD, which is generalised anxiety disorder, near enough every person has an anxious day or an anxious problem. So sometimes it's nice just to have some kind of cope to deal with a shitty day, basically. So this is what I'm all about. This is what I'm going to try and do. Hopefully it kind of makes an impact on people's lives, but we'll see. So stay tuned, and thank you very much for watching my video.